Most teams would worry about a third starting quarterback in as many years, but this is Oklahoma, you know. And we all know Jalen Hurts, the Alabama transfer, trying to do one of the few things his Heisman-winning predecessors could not: lead the Sooners to a national championship. Across the field tonight is perhaps the best quarterback you don't know, Houston's D'Eriq King. New Cougars coach Dana Holgorsen knows offense, and in King he inherits a dynamic dual-threat playmaker. It's Houston and Oklahoma in what should be a Sunday night shootout in the Palace on the Prairie. And we'll have a sellout crowd here at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium as this first full weekend of the college football season continues with Houston and Oklahoma, the first Sunday game ever played in this great venue. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Sean McDonough along with Todd Blackledge. Delighted to have you with us. We'll be joined shortly by Holly Rowe. One of the big stories of this college football season, particularly in this opening weekend, Jalen Hurts, after 3 seasons at Alabama, the first 2 as a starter, and he went 26-2 as a starter. He has transferred here to Oklahoma. And Todd, he has a very tough act to follow.
You think? The 2 guys before him set an incredibly high bar. Baker Mayfield transferred from Texas Tech. Lincoln Riley got a hold of him, turned him into a Heisman Trophy winner and a #1 pick in the draft. Then Kyler Murray came from Texas A&M. Same school, same results. Heisman Trophy, #1 pick. Jalen Hurts now, the 3rd quarterback transfer in a row to start for the Sooners. He's different. He's not as pure of a thrower as those first 2 guys, but a much more powerful runner. And I'm fascinated to see what Lincoln Riley does with him in his offense. I don't think it'll be plug and play. I think he'll tweak it a little bit to utilize Jalen Hurts' skill set as a runner.
Of course, the goal, the national championship, something Mayfield and Murray were not able to accomplish. Really not their fault or the fault of the Sooner offense the last couple of years. They were terrific. It's the defense that was dreadful. And with that in mind, a coaching change made by Lincoln Riley. He's brought in the bright young defensive coordinator from Ohio State, 39-year-old Alex Grinch. They'll play an attacking style defense tonight. And job 1 in his debut, and for the Sooner defense as well, dealing with D'Eriq King. The Cougars have a dual threat of their own. Very talented senior, responsible for 50 touchdowns last season. That's an American Conference record. Who now shifts, and the 3 receivers to the right. A quick pop again, and collared. Kenneth Murray dumped Stevenson at the 20-yard line. So the defense, they'd love to see a rare 3 and out, and a great start to the Alex Grinch era as defensive coordinator. King running out of time, man room, and he's down behind the line of scrimmage. Murray again.
John Michael Terry just playing with discipline. Watch number 40 just maintain the edge right here and not allow D'Eriq King to get outside. He shadows him, he mirrors him, and he stays with good leverage and allows help to come from the inside in Kenneth Murray.
Losing his job and never regaining it. Then, as a high-level grad transfer, here he is. He didn't know how to get into the team and get guys to accept him right away, so he did it in the weight room where he threw down this monster squat over 500 pounds on the bar. He gained instant credibility, and he said, the most important thing is I've been voted a team captain. That means the world to me. This isn't just about me. This is about us.
We're here for just 8 months, but just a couple of days ago, it's announced he's one of the team captains. He hands it off. Trey Sermon with 1 man to beat, and he goes out of bounds at the Houston 30. Defensive lineman, 30-yard gain on the first play from scrimmage for Oklahoma. Hurts first pass as a Sooner. Charleston Rambo, another big gainer, and he's down at the 14-yard line. Grant Stewart and Javarius Owens combining on the stop.
Transfers on this defense this year, too.
Hurts after the play fake, dumps it off in the flat. Jeremiah Hall lunging for the pylon, and it's a touchdown. Jalen Hurts picks up right where Mayfield and Murray left off. An efficient and quick scoring drive.
And 2 throws on that drive for Jalen Hurts, both of them right around the line of scrimmage. Get the ball to playmakers and let them do the rest. Excellent effort by Hall, reaching that ball to the pylon for the touchdown.
Goal kicker adds the extra point for Lincoln Riley. The offense continues to roll right along in Norman, and the Sooners off to a quick 7-0 lead. Kyle Porter, the running back. Marquis Stevenson, the motion man. They give it to Porter, and he's ahead for two, wrapped up by Ronnie Perkins, the defensive end. To either side, they're wide, and it's still Kyle Porter, the running back. And a knee down on the far sideline on the catch by Cole McGowan. Play clock down to 7. Third down, a little more than 10. And movement on the left end of the offensive line. That is also a concern for Houston. Here's Michael Roach. 37th career start. They rush only 2 on 3rd and 16, and now a third. And King's throw is too high and incomplete. Intended again for Cole McGowan. Roy's a big guy, 6'7", former ice cream salesman in Australia, and that is a bomb that lands inside the 15. CeeDee Lamb trying to pick up some blocks. CeeDee Lamb across the 25 and out of bounds, far sideline. They'll mark him all the way to the 34. So a 69-yard punt and a 27-yard return. Australia said, send me the best guy you have, and they sent Roy. They said he's a little rough, but he'll be great, and he has been. Jalen Hurts runs out of bounds with a 10-yard gain. There is a flag back along the line of scrimmage.
Houston.
Personal foul. Illegal use of hands to the face. Personal foul. Legal use of hands to the face. Defense on the 31. That penalty will be added to the end of the run. 15 yards, automatic first down. Number 27 may remain in the game. His helmet came off as a result of the foul.
Yeah, Jeremiah Hall, watch the left halfback, number 27. He's blocking on this quarterback run, and there's the penalty. Pushes his helmet off. And as you heard the referee say, because it was on a penalty, he can stay in the game. But this is Jalen Hurts running in between the tackles. He's 220 pounds. And you're not going to bring him down with arm tackles.
Defensive end, the new coordinator, Joe Cawthon, likes him, says he's scrappy, plays with great effort. Hurts, wise decision to keep the ball. Another big chunk play for Oklahoma as he goes down near the first down at the 30-yard line. Down to the pistol. Hurts pressured from behind, showing his elusiveness, and he weaved down to the 32-yard line. Gain of 7. That's the first down given up by this Oklahoma defense. Kyle Porter back in at running back. And he took the handoff and got dumped by Kenneth Murray, the preseason Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Missouri City, Texas. They have a number of players, Oklahoma, from the Houston area. King, nifty footwork, but he can't get back across the line of scrimmage, down at the 41. Neville Gallimore led the way, the 5th-year senior from St. Catharines, Ontario. King pressured. The ball pops out. And it looks like Houston got it back at the 46. Ronnie Perkins, the sophomore out of St. Louis, made contact from King's left. But kind of excited about the newcomers too. There's Jalen Hurts, the late pitch to Trey Sermon, and he's swung down by Grant Stewart, but it's a 13-yard gain. Again, yardage in big chunks for Oklahoma. They're averaging 11 yards per play. Here's Trey Sermon, nice cut, and that's 11 or 12 more. He got belted, but got the first down across the 35-yard line.
Really, the last 2 games, they were off that mark, or it would have been higher.
4 receivers now for Jalen Hurts, who's 3 out of 4 passing. That ball caught in a crowd by Nick Basquin. Another double-digit yardage gain to the 49-yard line, 16 yards.
What a play by Lee Morris, though, the other wide receiver who was blocking for his fellow wide receiver.
He's actually officially in his 6th year, granted an extra year by the NCAA. Hurts, deep drop, fires over the middle, caught. Another first down. Jeremiah Hall, who has scored the only touchdown in this game, good for a 12-yard gain. Still averaging more than 10 yards per play. Jalen Hurts, lots of time provided. Good throw. A.D. Miller the catch. Another first down at the Houston 28. 15 more for last year, but I know you believe he improved as a thrower during that year where he backed up to Tagovailoa. He throws wide open. Another first down. Braden Willis, listed as a fullback, tight end, H-back type, sophomore out of Arlington, Texas, just his second career catch.
His stats coming off the bench were much better than his first 2 years.
Interesting play here, pulling lineman. Hurts started one way, then came back to follow the pullers. And it's a first down at the 1-yard line. First and goal for Oklahoma, trying to add to a 7-0 lead.
Now, this is a quarterback counter. Beautiful red zone play. You pull the guard and the tackle, and you have a lead back as well. That's 3 blockers out in front of a guy in Jalen Hurts, who when he starts to tuck the ball and run, he becomes like a running back. He does.
11th play of the drive. Jeremiah Hall in front of Trey Sermon. Hurts keeps. No signal yet of a touchdown.
He's well over the goal line. I mean, he was clearly over the goal line. He got a push from behind by Kennedy Brooks, but I thought he was way over the goal line.
Going on the field, the running stop short of the goal line. 4th down.
He doesn't have it there, but watch the push. And right there, I think he's, well, of course you can't see where he is, but I think he and the ball are over the goal line. He's standing in the end zone.
Fans seeing some of the same replays that we are seeing.
Going on the field with the running being stopped short of the goal line is under further review.
Ball is all the way in the end zone.
After further review, number 1 had possession of the ball beyond the goal line, therefore it is a touchdown.
His first as an Oklahoma Sooner.
Well, he had 23 career rushing touchdowns as the Alabama quarterback. You get in the red zone with him and Trey Sermon and Kennedy Brooks and a center like Creed Humphrey, and the Sooners are going to be hard to keep out of the end zone.
Down here in the end zone, Kyler Murray was just celebrated here on the field. He's taking pictures with fans. How are you? We don't know. It's somewhere in the stadium. But how are you? Hi.
That's good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm so great. Okay, so the big news is you've debuted the Nissan Heisman Trophy commercials. How do you think you did in those commercials?
I thought I did really well.
Your acting was on point?
I felt like it was. I mean, I think I looked good on the TV, but, you know, I need more practice. Let's put it that way.
Okay, we'll give you some more practice. You know, speaking of practice, Jalen Hurts getting his first start. You were just in this position yourself a year ago. What are some of the feelings that are kind of coming up in you that you're like, oh my gosh, I remember what that was like?
I think our situation is just a little different, just because, you know, he's played in a lot of big games. Me, I had to wait my turn. He kind of has already known what it's felt like. So this is kind of his, coming out party for the Sooner fans. And for me, it was more about just being myself, trusting my abilities, and going out and playing my game and trying to lead these guys to a win. So.
I know De'Aaron King's a kid that you kept your eye on in high school. He broke one of your records in Texas 6A. He did. I'm sorry.
I didn't know that one.
I hate to break that to you. But what do you think about him? I know he hasn't gotten loose yet, but I know you like his game.
I mean, I don't want him to get too loose out here, but you love to see a guy of his stature play the quarterback position, and not only be able to run it, but also be able to throw it, because they like to marginalize small guys. So I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him, and I hope he succeeds.
All right, what's your first game next week?
Detroit, at home.
At home.
Yeah, at home.
Okay, we've got a lot of air raid ties in this game with Lincoln Riley, Dana Holgorsen. There's some of the guys that invented it. How have you adapted to that Cliff Kingsbury system so far?
I'm very fond of it, and I can't wait for Sunday.
All right, so good to see you.
You too.
Thank you.
You too.
All right, Holly, a couple of runs for Kyle Porter. A total of 5 yards. Here's 3rd and 5 for Houston. Haven't converted on 3 third downs yet. De'Aaron King gets collared short of the first down by Kenneth Murray. About 2 yards short of the line to gain at the 33.
Losses to Georgia and Alabama, their last 2 playoff appearances.
Jalen Hurts through a hole, stood up by Grant Stewart at the 28. Washington State, Roy Manning and Brian Odom. Hurts just standing there without any pressure, and he fires for a first down to Grant Calcaterra.
Thanks.
Hazelwood, the most highly touted of the 3 true freshmen. 5-star recruit consensus. After the play action fake, Hurts to Calcaterra again. He got belted by Deontay Anderson, but he held on for a first down into Cougar territory at the 48-yard line on 6 carries. And the other touchdown, design quarterback draw. And he got walloped at the 43-yard line by Peyton Turner. Top prospect on my team. They had about 20 guys who were being recruited by D1 schools. And that's pretty much factual. Deep throw, wide open. CeeDee Lamb, a touchdown. Busted defense. And you don't want to lose sight of one of the best wide receivers in the country who just made it 20-0.
CeeDee Lamb was going deep the whole way, right up the seam. Jalen Hurts, after he moved up in the pocket, able to throw on the move, and he knew he had a wide open guy. Just get him the football.
For the Sooners, Jalen Hurts has been tremendous, and the defense pitching a shutout with 8:09 to go in the first half here in Norman.
Yeah, and how disciplined you have to be. It was interesting.
We thank Steve Shaw, supervisor from the SEC, and a great group of officials who taught us a lot. Taught us enough to know that that seemed like a bad call. From the 13-yard line after a gain of 4, Hurts under duress. So effortlessly got away from it, and now he takes off running and gallops across midfield to the 44-yard line of Houston. Chased out by Javarius Owens. It's a 42-yard run for Hurts. Very experienced back judge. I think that should have been pass interference. Hurts takes off running. And he has a first down. Powerful run. And the ball came out. Was he down? No. The officials say it's Houston's ball near the 30-yard line. Porter stood up after a gain of 1. They're playing tonight without Patrick Carr, the Cougars' leading rusher from a year ago, returning with more than 800 yards. The mentality, and the players say he has. Quarterback draw, King, ripped down by Ronnie Perkins, who's had a nice half. And he thinks the defense has been learned very well by these Sooner defensive players, and it sure seems like they've learned the lessons with their performance in this half. Half a minute to go. King, a bullet. A little bit too wide for Terry Mark. Pat Fields had the coverage.
There it is.
Thank you, Scott Johnson.
I think they also don't have play-by-play voice on that channel.
Another selling point. There's Trey Sermon out of bounds. Ball throwers the previous 2. Houston rushes 4. Some twisting up front. Well blocked by this new offensive line. Trey Sermon sneaks out, leaps up and over, goes out of bounds as he went over Kadarian Smith, the cornerback. And he's still hopping. Lincoln Riley calls the plays. Like a design run for Hurts. He better get down quickly or get in the end zone. He gets down, and they get a timeout with 1 second to go. Kadarian Smith nearest there for Houston. That's an interesting call.
Well, Coach Riley, how do you evaluate your quarterback Jalen Hurts in that first half, both passing and 127 yards rushing with his legs?
Yeah, he's played well. You know, other than the fumble, he's really done a nice job for us. So we got to get paid off a little bit more. We've dominated the game too much to not be up a little bit more, but we got to make key plays there, finish some field goals, finish some drives.
Your defense was pitching a shutout until those final 2 drives. What do you evaluate that they've got to change there?
They've done a good job. We didn't convert on a couple of third downs. We missed an open field tackle down there. But they've done a good job all night, especially holding them to a field goal there. That was big momentum there at the end of the half.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.
At halftime, Oklahoma 21, Houston 10. We'll send you to the studio for the halftime report right after these messages. Hurts rushed for 128 yards and a score. Trying to throw on first down. He was pressured. He dumped it off to Trey Sermon. And he's ahead for about a 5-yard gain.
On the same page and getting a much-needed stop.
On 2nd and 5, Hurts has a man wide open. It's Nick Basquin spinning around. Didn't retreat to give back the first down yardage he had gained. There's the 39, 1st and 10. Oklahoma and Houston behind only UConn in doing that last year. Oklahoma's cleaned it up. The Houston defense still with a big problem. Hurts runs to the 44-yard line. Hurts was 2 out of 3 passing on 3rd down in the opening half. Plenty of time, a quick slant and a completion. Charleston Rambo. Rambo lunging for the goal line. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Now the backfield is going to pull the linebacker out of the underneath coverage. Open lane for Jalen Hurts to hit him, and then you see the acceleration of Rambo. He runs past 3 Houston defenders after the catch.
2 field goals in the first half. Oklahoma missed 2 field goals all of last season. Austin Seibert went 17 out of 19. Rambo, redshirt sophomore from Cedar Hill, Texas, with his 2nd career touchdown. He calls the plays. And a handoff to Porter, and he got wrapped up immediately by Ronnie Perkins. Usually they spread you out, and it looked like the left guard flinched.
Houston was trying to go with a longer count to draw the penalty, and they jumped themselves.
False start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
King, plenty of time. Long throw. Going for Courtney Lark. And it wasn't all that close. Parnell Motley running in coverage for the Sooners.
Yeah, that's important because the quarterback's got to tell a guy, I don't like this play either. And that's when a coach gets rid of it.
That's part of the process we're talking about. Here's Kennedy Brooks. Cross midfield and wrestled down from behind by Javarius Owens, the safety in his first game at Houston, who's had a busy night. 39 yards on the run for Kennedy Brooks.
Yeah, and Kennedy Brooks has had a pretty quiet night. Watch Creed Humphrey gets a block. He turns his man right in the hole. The right guard, Tyrese Robinson, with a nice block, number 52. And again, just the combination from a running standpoint of Kennedy Brooks, Trey Sermon, and Jalen Hurts.
Hurts dumped it off. Michael Jones stacked up at the Houston 45, still well short of the first down.
First year in 1991 when the air raid offense was introduced.
Dana Holgerson played wide receiver at Iowa Wesleyan. Here's Jaden Hazelwood, the highly touted freshman, living up to his press clippings. He nearly scored a touchdown. He gives the Sooners a 1st and goal. For the freshman Hazelwood in his collegiate debut. Hurts running away from the pressure from Grant Stewart, and he leaps into the end zone for an Oklahoma touchdown.
Offense under his direction, clicking. 543 yards already in the football game, and we've got just
Hurts has thrown 3 touchdowns and rushed for the other 2. 18 out of 21 passing for 291 and 3 touchdowns. 13 carries, 136 yards. That's 10.5 per rush and 2 touchdowns. Helped Neil Brown win his Mountaineer debut as head coach against James Madison after the run action. Wide open receiver. Charleston Rambo taken down in Houston territory at the 46-yard line by Gleason Sprewell, the returning starting safety out of Surprise, Arizona. These plays are so well thought out, so well executed. That big thing under Lincoln Riley these last 4 years, they have receivers who are so wide open. Here's Trey Sermon. They go back to the running game. He gets a 1st down, got banged out of bounds at the 34. Well, traced back to Hal Mummy and Mike Leach. Juggling catch made by Nick Basquin. He goes down just shy of the 1st down at the 25. Here's Holly Rowe.
But seminal moments in their career's development.
On 3rd down and 1, Hurts, nice bounce to the outside. Off he goes again, shoved out of bounds. Just shy. No, it's a touchdown. After a little deliberation, the touchdown signal given. They've scored 6, and he's been a part of all of them.
And this is just a read by Jalen Hurts because this was supposed to go inside between the tackles. Did he stay in bounds? I don't know. That one's close. That right foot, I think, went out of bounds before the ball across the pylon or the plane. Might have to bring in Bill on this one.
This is from the official's hat who made the call for touchdown.
On the field is a touchdown. That plays under further review.
If that ball breaks the plane, he's a runner, and it breaks the plane, he'll get the goal line extended. So this is the challenge for replay on this one.
Well, that's my question here, because I think he breaks the plane before his foot hits out of bounds.
This is the sideline.
Right. And the ball was a little bit behind him by his right hip.
After review, number 1 went out of bounds with the ball in his right hand at the 1-yard line. He does not get goal line extended. He's going to touch the pylon of the end zone. Therefore, it'll be first and goal, the 1-yard line.
2017 against Fresno State. Looked like he juggled the snap. Still uses that incredibly strong lower body to power to the end zone for a touchdown. Terrence Edgeston, the linebacker for Houston, saying, wait a minute, he didn't get in there. Oklahoma leading Houston 42-17. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Here with a very proud dad, I would assume, Jalen Hurts, your son Jalen with his debut today, and he's broken a couple of records for the best debut in Sooner history. What were some of the emotions going through you as he took the field tonight?
I mean, we're just happy for him. He's waited a long time. It's kind of like, he's back where he was and where he, you could say belongs. And so I'm happy for him and the team, most important. It's a great game. And, playing in Houston, being from Houston, so that's a little extra too.
You're a coach. How have you appreciated the way your son has handled all of this, competing for this job here, not talking about it in the media, just doing it on the field?
I mean, it was a journey. It was hard, but I've always tried to tell him he's built for this. God put everything. God does everything for a reason, and this was not an accident. And it's just something that God had for him to go through, and so he's gone through it. And we're glad, like I said, God doesn't make mistakes.
Your son tonight did such a tremendous job. At what point in this game did you start to kind of calm down or feel like, okay, things are going to be okay out here?
Well, being a senior, I've been through all of that, the crying and stuff from USC. We've been through that. Right now, he was ready to play. We talked, before every game. He calls me before mine, and he called me before his, and we talked. And he was ready to play, and that's all, I'm just ready to see it. So.
Career high yards rushing for him tonight also. What do you think about that?
Coach Riley said it, and, he said on something, they kind of unleashed him. And so, it's a good thing. But for me, it's, the passing has been really well. He missed one or two, but, it's been a great game plan. So happy for the team, and Coach Riley did a great job.
Thank you so much, Dad. I like it. The beast has been unleashed, huh? Thank you.
Where they do the ultimate. Mulbacar. That blasted Kenneth Murray in there again. That's his 12th tackle and 4th for a loss. He's had a sack tonight. Extra way to get it in than all the fly swatting over there. They come after King. He managed to get out of the pocket, but Kenneth Murray ran him down. You're not going to run away from him. 4th down and 3. Houston after the timeout trying to throw a bubble screen, and it's incomplete. And Oklahoma will take over on downs, intended for Jeremy Singleton. So the Sooners hold. Great surprise, because they're really not that easy to work with. Nonetheless, the crew comes back. Here's an onside kick attempt. Lamb and a couple other Sooners indicating that they have it. He said actually the guy pitched in the 1800s and was 5'3".
Are you serious?
Yes, he was 5'3" and pitched with either hand. A baseball lesson for you. Ramondre Stevenson, his best run as a Sooner in his debut.
Man, that but a guy with a helmet on.
I don't think I ever saw Frank do that.
Nope.
There's Ramondre Stevenson into the end zone for a touchdown.
really nice patience by Stevenson. He's going to get the ball and just find a lane and then cut up inside. Watch the patience on this run. Still the starting offensive line in the game. Creed Humphrey with a nice block at the center position. Left guard Marquise Hayes with a nice block.
All the investment that they're making in athletics, not just football at Houston, I think the idea is that they would like to get into a Power 5 conference at some point, and they're certainly attractive. But so many things going so well on their campus. Jalen Redmond made the tackle on Chandler Smith. And Houston will not snap it again. What a debut for Jalen Hurts. History making in his first outing as a Sooner. Lincoln Riley now 25-4 as a college head coach.
Well, Jalen, as you ran out of that tunnel for the first time as a Sooner tonight, what crossed your mind as you took the field?
I think all week trying to tell everybody to kind of play to our standard, the standard that we set in practice, the standard we set for ourselves, and we just got to do a better job of it, I think. It's kind of sloppy at times, so we got to do better.
As you scored your first touchdown and you started to hit some nice throws, how did you settle into this offense in your first time?
We're just playing football. It's great surrounding cast around me. O-lineman did a great job. The receivers did a great job of getting open. We played good football at times, but it was not consistent enough.
You seem super disappointed right now, and yet you set a new school record for yards in a debut, and you're also the first Oklahoma quarterback in school history to throw for over 300 and rush for over 150. So can you be somewhat happy?
I got to go talk to my boys. We got to get right. We got to get better. We got to take more steps.
When you look back on this game tonight, what do you think is the thing that you've got to clean up most?
Sloppy play, really trusting it, and just executing better. We got to execute better.
All right. What does the future hold for you guys? What kind of feeling do you get from this debut?
Hopefully, we can learn from our mistakes from this game and take that next step next week.
Okay. Can I just get one smile? You played well tonight, Jalen.
We got to do better, man. I'm telling you.
All right. You gave me a baby one. I'll take it. Thank you. Thanks.
Has to do better. 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 incomplete passes. The Ford wrap-up is coming up after these messages.
Well, Coach Riley, your quarterback Jalen Hurts had a good debut statistically, but he's not happy with his performance. How did you assess it?
Yeah, we won. We had some great moments where we really played all together as a team. Didn't finish the way we wanted to. A little sloppy there, certainly in the second half, the end of the third quarter there. So typical first game. There's a lot of good. We're never going to get tired of winning. So that's always a great thing, but we certainly have a lot to improve on.
What, if any, satisfaction did you take that Jalen seemed comfortable in this offense right away?
I felt like he would. I mean, that's how we want our guys to play, and that's part of why he won the job here. And so, it's game one. And he did a good job. There's a lot of things he's got to get better at. A lot of things our team's got to get better at, and that'll be our focus.
A lot of the questions coming into this game were surrounding your defense. Good first half. How do you assess kind of where they were after the end of this game?
Yeah, just got to finish. The penalties killed us. We busted a couple of calls there at the end where we had some great calls that we got to execute better. So I love how we're flying around. I thought the mentality was good. Certainly some first game things, though, that we got to do better and do better quickly.
All right. Any good takeaways that you thought you were really good at? Give me one good positive thing. I just feel like it's a lot of negativity right now. Winning's awesome. We did a great job. We ran the ball well, extremely well there. Thought we did a pretty good job until the end of their run game. We got a lot of pressure on King. Now, he's tough because he's hard to get down, but I thought we were very disruptive defensively the entire night. Okay, good. So a win's a win, right?
That sounds better, right?
That sounds better.
Thanks,
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Derek. Good seeing you.
Did an impressive win for the Oklahoma Sooners. 49-31, the final score here in Norman.